I would first like to say a little bit about the requirements for this video. I assume if you are wanting to learn how to program, you are already quite familiar with using a computer. You should know general computer terms and be able to navigate Windows very easily. You also need to have some sort of compiler on your computer. I have Visual Studio 6.0 and Visual Studio .NET 2003. If you do not have either one of those, they are a very good free compiler from Bloodshed. In order to get it, you just need to go to bloodshed.net and click on the downloads link. Now, to start creating our program, the first thing that we have to do is run Visual Studio. You do this by going to Start, All Programs, Microsoft Visual Studio 6.0, and clicking on Microsoft Visual C++ 6.0. Now, when Visual Studio first opens, you have to create a new project. Go to File, New, make sure the Projects tab is selected, select Console Application, and give the project name Hello World. We want an empty project, so this is fine. Just click Finish. Click OK. Now, we have to actually create a CPP file. This is our source file that includes all of our code. So we go to Project, Add the Project, New, click on Source File, and give it the name of Main. Now, we are ready to start creating our program. The first thing that we have to do is include the header file for the input and output streams. This is called iostream.h. You do this by actually including the file, type in include iostream using namespace std. Now, every program has a main function. This is where all the main code goes to. The main function is the data type of int. Now, the curly bracket, the opening curly brace, is what tells the main function that this is the beginning of the function. So every instruction that you give the compiler after the curly brace means that it belongs to this main function. The next thing that we have to do is actually create the output object. This is called cout. This is actually called the insertion operator. What this does is actually inserts this text into the output stream buffer. The only thing this right here does is tells the compiler to go to a new line. But this whole instruction just tells the compiler to output Hello World to the screen. Since this was an integer function, it has to return an integer value to Windows. You can use other values other than 0, but we'll cover that later when I tell you about functions. Finally, we use a ending curly brace. What this does is just tells the compiler that this is the end of this function. Now, to compile it, all we need to do is click on the red exclamation mark, and it will tell you that the file does not exist. You want to build it. Click Yes. And as you can see, it's compiling. And Hello World is on the screen. That's it.